Hey everyone, Mortgage Nerd here. Just finished my rates video for August 13, 2019. And when I ended, I said, watch my next video I'm about to create about the recession that's coming. Let's look at the screen. Let's look at the treasuries. Today, mortgage bonds dipped, treasuries went up. We see mortgage bonds on this downward trend. Let's go over to the treasuries to see what they're doing. And then I'll get into some explanation. Treasuries, this is the 10-year yield. Has been on a big downswing with China devaluing their currency. But let's look at the other treasury yield. So there's a 1-year, 2-year, 5-year, 30-year. I think there's a 3-year. There's all different yields for treasuries. Now, a big indicator of recession is what's called the inverted yield curve. So the inverted yield curve means the higher year yields, the 10-year yield, should always be at a higher cost, a higher number that we're going to show you. Whenever you see it become lower than one of the lesser years, it's called inverted on the yield curve. So the 1-year treasury, as you can see right here, 1.86, has been inverted to the 10-year for a while now. I have videos going back maybe 6 months where I show this. The 5-year at some points has been also. The 3-year, the 30-year is not inverted to any of these, but the key is the 10-year to the 2-year. That's the key. And where are we today? This is the tightest gap I've seen so far this year. 1.70 on the 10-year, 1.67 on the 2-year. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. You see right here, 10-year treasury yield minus the 2-year treasury yield is what that is. So we look right here, we come over here to yield, where you see 0, you see the change of color. I think that's green, I'm colorblind, and I think that's red. I'm pretty sure, I think I can see this difference here. We see here in 1978, when the curve inverted, soon after, let's see how long it took, about a year after, a little over a year, we hit a recession. Then the yield curve was normal. The 10 minus the 2, negative right here in 1980, September. August of 81, recession. Longer one. Same over here. 1988, November. June of 90, a year and a half later, recession. Yield curve, okay, so we had a little blip here. That might be what we're getting through now. But then it recovered and then came here, 2000, February 2000, and then we had a recession May of 2001. So we see a pattern here. Here again, they're in the real estate boom and then the crash, 2008, 2007. So now we've been on this very long expansion, this very long economic growth for 10 years now, one of the longest in history, if not the longest. We haven't seen that yield curve invert yet, but as history tells us and shows us, what is it, 12 to 18 months that we just went over? After that, you usually see a recession. Go back to my videos and see, what have I been saying all this time? I've been saying end of 2020, 2021, we might see a recession in there. Let's go back to these treasuries and take one last look. 1.67 to 1.70. Let's see what happens. Definitely talks about a recession will heat up when you see this happen. I'm going to do a whole series of videos on different recession indicators in case you want to take a look at that. It's really cool stuff economic-wise for mortgage nerds like me. I'm happy to nerd out with you guys and keep doing these videos. Some of you really like them. I'm glad you do. Thanks. Signing out, Mortgage Nerd.